Hey, excuse me. It's January 15th. It's Wednesday, and here's an update. My word of intention was Pomodoro, which is actually Pomodoro technique. It's a Japanese word. And they believe that in order to be super productive, that you work for 25 minutes, focus, no distractions, you work your hardest, and then you take a 5-minute break and come back and do it again. So we know that I have been struggling with putting my listings, um, not hitting my goals because I hit my goals, just the time that it takes me to hit my goals. I have no life. So that's what we talked about on Monday. On Tuesday, Monday night, my husband came home from work, sick as a dog. I believe he has the flu. He did take a COVID test. It came out negative. So I stood far away from him. There was no way I was going to get sick. Monday, I did not get to work on the inventory because it took me too long to get my listings done. And I went to bed at 1 a.m., which I thought was awesome because that was 2 hours earlier than Sunday and Saturday, right? Tuesday, I get up and I am, doing my thing. I go to the meeting for the 12-week year. I score myself. I got 100, but at what cost, right? Exhausted, taking all day to do listings, and I have no time for myself, no time to do anything. So we talked about that, and then we went straight into mastermind. And after everyone was done and we recorded our progress or needed to look at that or whatever, Molly and Libby spoke to me about the different ways of looking at this, right? Doing my listings. And we know that out loud, I kept saying, I can't do it. I can't make it any less time. I just can't do it. But they kept talking to me about, putting blocks of time or using the Pomodoro technique. I know I use that word a lot. I love it. I love Pomodoro. It's so cool. Anyway, so like a good girl, I kept my mouth shut. I was not going to be negative. I would try it, but deep down in my subconscious, I was like, it's not going to work. I'll try it. I'll give it my all, but It's just not going to work. I'm going to fail. And then Libby says to me, make it a game. See how many listings you can do in a 50-minute period of time. Game. I'm into that. I like games. How many listings can I do? Okay, I'm in. Not just I'm in, but I'm in. You can see the difference, right? Yeah, I'm in. Then she says, when you do this, I want you to indicate, in your intention journal on the blank sheet of paper, what were your obstacles, what worked, what didn't work. LP had a glitch, Bay had a glitch, whatever it was, just list it, put it down. Let's get some data so that we can move forward. Okay, boss. I get out of that meeting and I'm gung ho. Let's play a game. It took me to 5 o'clock to finish my listings. Did you hear me? 5 p.m. That's right. Had my dinner, worked on inventory. I stayed up until 11:30 because hubby over here won't take his medicine when he needs to. So I made sure I stayed up until 11:30 for him to get his medicine. What is that? That is 30 minutes earlier. 30 minutes earlier? 3, 1, 12. No, an hour because I went to bed at 12. So an additional hour of sleep I get. Then I wake up this morning. I'm reset to 0, so my desk is completely clean. I already had photos from yesterday. I had a little bit of extra rollover to today, meaning money, right? So I was like, yeah, let's get this done. 3 p.m. I was finished with my listings by 3 p.m. And you know what I did with my breaks? I just got that rolling cart. Did I tell you about the rolling cart? So it's not really a rolling cart. It is a bookshelf rolling cart. So it has V-shaped shelves that are on a cart, and I am going to use that to put my clear bags in. I want to be able to have them sorted, not everywhere around the place. I want them where they belong, and when I need them, they're right there. I grab them and I'm done. I get the cart and I'm a little disappointed. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I'm a little disappointed. It's kind of short. I was hoping it would be a bit taller. It's kind of short. And the V openings, because there's on both sides, they come down. They don't have a divider. So we all know how slippery these bags are when they're brand new. They're going to get intertwined. And that is not what I'm looking for. So, so I discussed this with my daughter. We both agreed that this is what I was going to do. I was going to make a divider for each shelf. And I did. And I made the divider out of a USPS box. Then, and that's what I did with my break, right? So at first I had a second break. I made the second one, so on and so forth. Which, what is that? Everybody knows. Slight edging. One of my favorite things to do now that I know about it. And the 4 dividers are done. But there's no way I'm going to leave them the way they are because they're ugly. They're just ugly. So I'm going to take scrapbook paper. I'm going to take some Mod Podge. And I am going to wrap that USPS piece of box in pretty paper. Pretty paper. Then I'm going to stick that little divider in there, which, yes, it fits because I tried them. All of them, they fit perfectly. No tape needed, nothing. Then I'm going to take each and every one of my different size clear clear bags, and put them in there. It's going to be so awesome. So that's going to be done. And I think it was the crafting part of it that really kind of, when I stepped away from the computer and the listing, it was a release. It was a break for my mind. It was a switch from the analytical to the creative. Before, I would sit here and I wouldn't give myself a break. I'd be like, no, just wait to pee. Just once, wait, because you still didn't make all your listings. Just sit here and wait. And I think that was the biggest problem, which was my mind was tired. And I was too darn stubborn to realize that, to be able to walk away. And it was trying to tell me, because I'd get distracted. Be like, oh, I can do that. I can put that away. Oh, I can do this. I can put that away. Okay, all right. Now it's 2 hours later, and you still need to do listing. I think that's really what it was. So today, 3:00, and I was done. What? Really? No way. I don't believe it. Serious. So stoked. I reset to 0. I went downstairs and I worked on inventory. And I can feel his flu coming on. It was bothering me a little bit this morning, and I jumped on it real quick. Zycam, 2,000 milligrams of vitamin C, and the polyjuice potion. I don't. Kick boop immune. So yeah. But right now I am shaking. I'm cold. I have a slight headache. I can feel it in the back of my head. And my throat is scratchy. So, just so you know, he's going to be in the doghouse if he has given me this thing. In the doghouse. There's no way. I don't want this. Did you hear him? I hope not. Okay. So let's move on. We got that. Did I just sniffle in your ear? I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. He's in the living room and he's watching TV, and that's why I have the mic so close to my mouth. And I'm hoping that you can't hear the background. So I'm very sorry about the snuffleupagus. Did I tell you I finished Crush? No, not Crush. Not Crush. Low Pressure. I finished Low Pressure. I finished Crush. Those are listening audio. Physical reading, Slide Edge. We're doing that in the Consignment Chats Business Boosting Book Club, which starts on Monday. I am reading Life at the Dakota and, of course, the 12-week year. I honestly don't know if you want to hear about the Dakota or not. I honestly don't know if you know what the Dakota is. So let me give you a brief synopsis of where I'm up to. So the Dakota was built in the late 1800s. I want to say 1860s. Could have been earlier than that. No. The Dakota is an apartment building. And although it was not the first apartment building to be built in Manhattan, New York, it was the first luxury apartment building. And Mr. Clark, who was the brains behind this idea, is he wanted to build an apartment building that would allow affluent people to live in it. So it wasn't, no expense was considered. This happened because they had gone to Europe and they saw the flats in Paris and in England and the the Crescent and all these beautiful architecture and beautiful places to live. And he thought and came back and he was like, well, we're going to build an apartment building. We're not going to call it a flat because the Brits over there call it a flat. So we'll call it an apartment building over here. But I haven't gotten to the end of the book. I'm thinking it's still standing. So 1860s to now, unbelievable. When it first opened up, they had a staff, and so that people would move into their apartments, and then if they needed their laundry washed, they would call the staff of the building to come and get the laundry, take it down and eat and do it, fold it, come back up. If they need renovations or painting or anything like that, they would call the building to have it done. Turn down service. They had everything and a restaurant. Just in case you didn't want to cook, you could go to the restaurant. But there have been so many famous people that have come and gone from this Dakota. It is so very interesting, and it's also very interesting to hear that up until the 1960s, I want to say 1960s, the building never made a profit. They would make deals with people that they wanted in the apartment. And they I don't know. They had apartments with 11 rooms. They had apartment with 9 rooms. They had apartment with 2 rooms, 1 room. It was diverse. It is diverse. But some of those people that have 11 rooms paid $500 a month. $500 a month. Nothing. In Manhattan, everything was always the highest. There was almost nothing. Some people that they wanted in the building, and they said, well, I really can't afford that. Can we talk about X? And Clark would agree to it. He'd agree to it. They were living there for almost nothing. And here's this big, ginormous, it is the size of a block, a New York City street. Hold on. My head is really bothering me. Avenues, that's Fifth Avenue, and those are streets. Yes, street. So, it does have some hauntings. And, uh, Boris uh, Koloff, Lauren Bacall, Judy Garland, John Lennon, um, I'm missing somebody. Anyway, sorry. I can't remember the other person that's super famous. Anyway, it's a really interesting story. It's not what I thought it was going to be, but it's interesting. And so I think I'm going to ask you for a favor, which is wish me luck. And I'm going to keep on taking my polyjuice potion, my emergency, and my Psycam so that this doesn't get any worse. Have a good night, and I hope to see you on Friday. Bye.